The year, Universal Century 0092. Neo Zeon, led by a familiar face, sends a group of special forces to Earth led by Frederick Braun on a vital mission. The Dogs of War manga was penned by none other than mangaka Kondo Kazuhisa and was published in 1988. This will be the basis of Season 4 for the Gundam Book Club. Spoiler alert as always. It features events between Double Zeta Gundam and Char's counterattack, so if you haven't seen these shows yet, then please be warned. It has been more than 10 years since the Battle of Abawaku. One important piece of data was analyzed from a hack of a former Zeon central computer at the abandoned lunar base of Granada. Several nuclear warheads were buried in a mining base controlled by Mkuves several miles underground on Earth. The Neo Zeon army sent a special mobile suit team to the mine site under the jurisdiction of the Earth Federation to obtain the missiles before the Federation can discover them first. Winter of Universal Century 0092. Chapter 1. Kolka. Descent. A Neo Zeon cruiser approaches the Earth while flanked by several ISAC reconnaissance mobile suits patrolling surrounding space. An officer on board reported that they were entering Earth orbit. Another bridge officer responded that they had already launched their ISAC reconnaissance team. The superior officer said, "All right, get ready to launch the attack corps." In the mobile suit bay, several Garadoga mobile suits were being prepped. Attack corps, stand by to launch. Paolo, Mesh, Cross, Takin, prepare to launch. A deck officer asked another as they're floating in zero gravity, "Their balloon packs will be okay, right?" The other said, "Take it easy. They'll be just fine." Captain Braun got on the communications with other Garadoga pilots. They are wearing normal suits and were ready for launch. Check one more time the course, so it'll be at 0.850. Let's not be like the Feddies. His subordinate responded, "I know, Captain Braun." With that, Captain Braun took point on launch deck. "Okay, let's go." Braun. Launching. The Garadoga units fitted with atmospheric reentry balloons were hurled into space. Meanwhile, an ISAC reconnaissance unit remained on patrol while it noted something. Heading 2011, detecting many objects on sensors, he broadcast on the radio while his screen gave an audible alert. The radio intercept officer Rio informed the pilot, "Enemy J-gun types. Contact the main team immediately. Roger." Braun received the message from the Hawkeye, or ISAC, and got on his comms. "Enemy units approaching from 10 o'clock. Engage combat systems. I repeat, enemy units approaching for 10 o'clock. His wingman acknowledged. Braun then positioned his mobile suit to allow the blue to deploy, and ordered, "All craft, proceed on the proper approach to re-enter the atmosphere." The mobile suit started their rapid descent into the Earth's upper atmosphere. Their balloons deployed. It was at that moment a J-gun type Federation mobile suit was visible. Its beam rifle was at the ready, but Braun had already opened fire. It damaged the J-gun mobile suit critically. The unfortunate pilot was then pulled into Earth's gravity well and could not change its course. It, along with other J-gun mobile suits, were destroyed by the team of Neo Zeon Ace pilots. Meanwhile, on Earth, 3 Mad Angler-class Zeon subs had emerged from the depths of a bay. The Zeon naval forces could see in the distant sky the re-entry trails of the SpecOps team, or Special Ops team, as they proceeded to land. So, like I said in the outset, this season will cover another manga by Kazuhisa Kondo, and this is going to be on the Dogs of War. His aesthetic is just, to me, as good as it was in the revival of Zeon. There wasn't really a great deal of exposition in this chapter, however, in the prelude, there was some background information that was provided. In the trailer that I released last month, one was made in Japanese. Like in the revival of Zeon, which incidentally also came out the same year in 1988, he featured designs of mobile suits that would received center attention in the movie Char's counterattack. Unlike in the revival of Zeon, the units featured were not the Sazavi or New Gundam, but were in fact the J-Gun and the venerable Gyaradoga. For this episode, I'll discuss the feigned replacement of the Zaku or the Gyaradoga. Codename AMS-119. Some of the information provided on this unit is provided from the manga directly, while others was based on information I could glean from online. The Gyaradoga was used by Neo Zeon forces following the end of the First Neo Zeon War. It was featured prominently in the movie Char's counterattack, as well as the manga and novel version, both high-stream and Bell Torchica's children. It was seen in Gundam Unicorn as well as Gundam Build Fighters and later Build series. It is originally designed by Izubuchi Yutaka. Although it was a general issue unit, some ace pilots would utilize this machine. I'll provide a link in the show notes for more generalized information, however, here are some generalized stats. Overall height is 20.0 meters, or in the manga 21.2. Dry weight of 23 tons. Max weight of 50.8. Power output is 2168 kilowatts. Sensor range of 16,400 meters. It has two 14,000 kilogram thrusters and additional two 13,000 kilogram thrusters. It has a total of 15 vernier thrusters for maneuvering. For standard armament, it contains or has a beam sword axe and a shock anchor. It also can field a shield with 2x2 grenade launchers, a beam machine gun with a grenade launcher, or a standard beam rifle. The manga version has an MG81 smart gun type machine gun. One of the key distinguishing features between the movie version and manga version is the head unit. It retains the prototypical mono eye design, but the crown of the head resembles that of a mohawk as compared to the movie version. I've included a translation by Kondo of the Gyaradoga in the beginning of the manga. The Gyaradoga is Neo Zeon's general purpose mobile suit, developed as a successor to the MS-108 Marasai, which in turn was made for the Titans. As an advanced version of the Zaku type, the Marasai, which had been praised for its excellence, could no longer compete with the Air Federation types such as the GM3 or J-Gun in terms of performance, let alone the lack of firepower against the Federation forces approached by attacking in large numbers. Therefore, it is the Gyaradoga that was designed with the goal of enhancing firepower and strengthening armor. Since it's for general soldiers, it has no specialty, but it can be used under all sorts of circumstances and is a very excellent unit in terms of operating rate and high reliability. The basic paint scheme of the Gyaradoga is moss green. However, some units were overcoated with a sand color for camouflage for use on the Earth. It is equipped with a smart gun type MG81 machine gun. It is said to be Neo Zeon's latest heavy weapon for mobile suits. Now this is in air quotes. Pictures of what I'm referring to will be included in social media. This unit is the second of the 6 Gyaradogas belonging to the 66th Special Mobile Suit Squadron, which is organized into the 324th Special Mobile Suit Division, the 4th Armed Battalion of Neo Zeon. The PAL is registered as GS Takin. The platoon leader is Frederick F. Braun, and the formation year is Universal Century, January 29th, 0092. Next episode, Mitsurin, Dense Forest. The Neo Zeon Special Team has made landfall in a jungle. A massive Adumla-class air transport was out on patrol in the area. Federation mobile suits are in kind dispatched to respond to the arrival of the Neo Zeon forces. Please be sure to check out the Twitter page at Gundam Sentinel 2, Instagram at Gundam Sentinel Podcast, or on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/Gundam Sentinel Podcast. If you like what you hear, please rate and give a review on whatever means you listen to this podcast, and tell your Gundam level otaku friends to check it out. Until next time.